This is Cully Perlman for NovelMasterclass.com. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to talk about writing as therapy. But before we get into what can be a very interesting topic, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. We really appreciate all the feedback you provide us. Plus, you'll know when new content comes out on our channel. So, writing as therapy. First off, I'd like to start with a quote by Robert Black. Sometimes, late at night, I tend to dwell on negative times in my life. What I find about writing is, once those negative times and people are written about, I dwell on them less. For many writers, this is true. It is also true for those who deal with stresses and diagnoses above and beyond your ordinary typical stresses and anxiety that most people face on a daily basis. Now, writing or journaling as therapy is a common activity among people who suffer from various diagnoses. While there may be a little stigma to admitting you've been diagnosed with some condition, it's also beneficial for those who have not been officially told they have a mental health issue. As a writer, primarily of fiction, I've often been in workshops or in classes while attending undergraduate and graduate writing classes in which people spoke of writing and journaling as an act they did for therapeutic reasons. Journaling allows writers to express themselves however they so choose, and for many people it acts as a release of what they believe are the toxic elements in their lives. While mental health in the United States still has a long way to go in terms of what's available to people with mental health issues resource-wise, the stigma is lessening. Insurance companies often get in the way, and a lack of local in-person facilities in medical and mental health professionals is also a problem. But there are people looking to change that, and to some success. That said, there is hope. Today, there are more resources available to those who need assistance, including free warm lines, where one can call to speak with someone who'll just listen to what you want to talk about. They normally last about 15 minutes or so. The warm lines allow someone suffering mental health issues or pain at the moment to connect with someone who's non-judgmental and who'll listen without interrupting. Technology has also provided online tools and support groups, also free, although there are plenty out there that are either paid or where donations are accepted. And there are a multitude of apps and websites that offer their own version of help through software geared around various topics. We've listed a number of these resources with contact information at the bottom of this video in the description area. Here's a quote from Graham Greene. Writing is a form of therapy. Sometimes I wonder how all those who do not write, compose, or paint can manage to escape the madness, melancholia, the panic and fear which is inherent in a human situation. I understand what he means by that, and it's kept me writing all my life. But let's get back to writing as therapy. In an experiment at the University of Texas, James Pennebaker, PhD, selected healthy undergraduates and divided them into 4 groups. He had them each write for 15 minutes each night for 4 consecutive nights, and then he tracked them over a 6-month period. 3 of the groups were directed to write about traumatic events they'd experienced in their lives, and the 4th group were told to write about other things that were not traumatic. To their surprise, the 3 groups who wrote about the traumatic events in their lives had fewer visits to the health centers. It's also been discovered that writing as therapy can produce physical benefits as well. To read more on this topic, visit psycom.net. We've included the link down below as well. Mita Zinindelu said, and I quote, "We write to be heard. We write to heal." At the end of the day, if you want to write or journal as your way of understanding the things that affect you negatively, you should do it, or at least try to do it. You never know what benefits writing as therapy might deliver to you and your health. If nothing else, it'll provide you with a release, and everyone can use a release every now and then. Whether it be from the stresses of your job or career or having lost them, family issues, marriage troubles, or mental health issues, give it a shot. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. As I mentioned, I use fiction to make sense of the world. I have multiple diagnoses, and besides taking the steps I need to take medically, I write short stories and novels because they allow me to dive deep into my characters and their troubles without having to focus on me. That may not work for everyone, and that's fine. Journal about it. Write on napkins about it. But do what you have to do to help improve your mental state. It'll help you manage the now and set you on the right course for a better you in the future. What I do is focus on my emotional state. I focus on the things that are making me upset, and then I work that into my characters. I try to capture how I'm feeling, when, why, and what I do about it, meaning how I react to the stimuli that upset me. I try to communicate that through my characters' actions or inaction, and how they interact with the characters closest to them and who they have in their lives that aren't antagonists. Antagonists are easy to make characters of. It's the people closest to the protagonist that are the most complex and that cause the most anxiety for my characters. And it's what I find most interesting about the characters and scenes and situations I thrust my fictive beings into. After all of these years of writing, I assume that that's what many fiction writers do, but I honestly can't say that without any authority. or with any authority. It's only my guess. Much of fiction is biographical. It just depends on the writer as to how closely they stick to biography as they write. Today, I'll leave you with a quote from Carolyn Rubinstein, PhD, that was taken from Psychology Today. The act of writing functions like a sieve, separating extraneous fears, worries, and insecurities from the core of our being, which compels us to do the scary duty of confronting them, understanding them, and ultimately leaving our fears behind. Such is the origination of tortured artist syndrome. Please go down below and like, subscribe, comment, and share if you found this video helpful. We love hearing from you, and when you subscribe and share, we know we're on the right path. For novelmasterclass.com, I'm Cully Perlman. Happy writing.